Hey dreamers, this is Jack to Plays and a new video about my project Fantieval. The project Fantieval is a community creation assets with a little bit of my own assets here and there intertwined. The purpose of these behind the scenes series, or basically the purpose of this project Fantieval is that I really want to show you, even though we're not getting official support anymore from PlayStation, but I still want to show you how wonderful Dreams is and what a great tool Dreams is. And I think a lot of people still don't really maybe realize how powerful this tool is. And with this project Fantieval, I kind of want to show you that you don't really need to have the knowledge of sculpting to make such beautiful environments. And even though this whole series is basically based off a Dungeons and Dragons series from you can watch that into the first video. I'll explain that there. I'm not going to bother that with that much. But this project is basically, I want to show how what you can do in Dreams and what is the power of Dreams still. And I had an idea to build a fantasy world, and I wanted to make it like a showcase that I normally do in Dreams. And I will, of course, hopefully implement the walk feature still. So far, I'm still on track to keep the walk feature inside this creation. So I'm getting closer to, well, not to be finished yet, but I'm getting closer to what my vision is of this project, and you will going to see pretty much soon what I'm talking about. I've been working a lot in the background on this project, and the purpose of these videos is basically a little bit behind the scenes of what I have been doing. If you have not watched the previous videos, you should absolutely check out the previous videos, and I will show you the steps by steps what I've been doing so far. And this is a big one. Oh, not a big one, but this is definitely a little bit more better fine-tuned version video is now going to be shown. So if you cannot wait, well, the wait is over. I will show you. So I always start with this scene, the same scene with the lovely little village in the background. And the clouds are moving and stuff like that. I'm not going to talk too much about the intro, so let's start into it. So you're probably going to already see a little bit of changes here and there. I have, of course, the post that I already show you in the previous video, but there's something else on top of this. I really want to show that already. There's like a little bit of a crow sitting on the pole, and he's just like looking around. And sometimes like he's chirping a little bit and doing its thing. I also tweaked a little bit of the pole itself. I painted a little bit more better, so you can see a little bit more the wood structure popping out a little bit better. So that I did as well. That's it for the post. Didn't really do much about that except for the bird. Speaking of birds, wow, what a timing. Birds are flying in the air. And you're probably gonna maybe recognize these type of birds. I think it's the most wonderful bird creation by someone made in Dreams. You can make them track around where you want. And there's also an airship, another new airship, as you can see. We have two airships. One I already showed you in the previous video, and this is the second one. This is like another airship that goes in a different direction. And the airship, where this airship is going to a floating island, and that's basically the end destination. And that's where people can can travel there, and so on. So this airship is going to way all the way to one of the tiny little island, and that's I cannot point, but you're not gonna see my finger. But that's the other one over there in the left corner. There's another airship. That's the other one that I already showed. But basically the one with the tree, the little island with the tree, that's where this secondary airship is going to head. Now, before I'm going to show you the rest, I really want to show you this a little bit. before I'm going to talk about this building, my thermo, my graphics thermo, it's getting closer to the 100%. And I managed it that I should have now enough to build the whole building now with all the assets that I have now placed inside this creation. And that's a huge excitement because like yeah, I was a little bit like afraid that I'm going to hit the 100% nonetheless, but I have like 3% left right now. I can maybe reduce here and there, maybe still, and steal a little bit of like graphics thermo here and there, but to be honest, I am good with it. So basically I found a very good door. I had to tweak it, of course, into my own style, into my own color scheme. I had to delete a few stuff that was in the door, and I had to make the door a little bit more proper in a proper way. So basically, so that the door fits for this building, and you can actually go inside. So you basically push the door open like so, and then you're going inside this bar. Now the bar is not finished, as you can see, but now you give a little bit of an idea what I'm going for. So now I basically have the walls and the window, and so basically I can now like build around this whole area and make the bar alive. And the rest is still the same with the puppets, the characters still sitting and waiting for their order. Now I did change something in here inside this creation. Yeah, this is a little bit spoiler alert, but I made this fireplace for something different, but I'm going to use this in this creation as well. And I cannot talk about the other creation because like I'm not really sure if this video is going to be uploaded before the other one. But the reason why I placed this version of the fireplace and not the other one is because this one is a lot cheaper. The other fireplace I made during the Secret Santa creation, and that was a very high quality, very like high quality graphics thermo fireplace, which is not very ideal to have in your scene if graphics thermo is not really your friend. And this fireplace is, I think, 2%, if I'm not mistaken. So the other one was 15%, and this one is 2%. So I changed a little of the order of the way how I was going to sculpt this one. So it still has a lot of detail, but it is a little bit like simplicity in its design. And there are some like tree trunks growing around the fireplace as well. This isn't like a returning thing in the whole bar. It's going to be like an old tree-ish type of thing. How you would enter, how you would say, maybe why is this happening? Well, it's just for decoration, so it doesn't really have a purpose. They're not like it's not building on a tree or anything like that. It's just for decorations this time. And yeah, we have the wolf, of course. Not the, is it the wolf? I think it's a fox. We have the fox, of course, still here, and some bottles. And I changed a little bit of the bar placed, or like basically like clone it and put it in the other side, so it looks like a little bit more extension of the bar. And now that I have like 3% still left, I can still place a few stuff here, like bookshelves or like shelves, so I can put more, so I can put the bread, put that away, and yeah, basically decorating the inside. So that's what I'm going to do in the coming videos. I'm not sure if it's already been in. It's going to be in the next video, depending on where I want to like where I'm going to end and stuff like that. So yeah, so the first thing I want to say, I think that I have now enough assets to make this bar complete. I have the door, I have the windows, I have the walls, and also the floor, the fireplace. So I should have enough to decorate this entire place right now. And like I said, I probably maybe need to redo some graphics here and there. And you can go outside again and you go back into the place where you are, where you see the crawl like still like on the pole. But if we're going on this side, and I forgot to show you in the last video, it was already there. I made a little there's a fence here, So basically, there's like it's separating the road and the wasteland altogether. You cannot go on the wasteland. I want to let you like still walk around in this location, but I still have to like, um, yeah, border it down or where you can go. Because like if I will let you go walking over the wasteland, then I still have to make a lot more sculptures, and yeah, thermo is not on my side, so not going to happen. But if we're walking further, you're probably already going to notice that there's a lot of stuff that has been happened, like trees and some flowers, some butterflies again, and yeah, so everywhere you can look, there's something to see. And let me go further on, because like I did something more. Also, in the back, I repainted the columns so that it looks more stone. And in the previous video, if you still want to know how it was looking before, watch the previous video, then you know the difference. In like these columns that I had before were not painted at all, and they looked very bland, one color. They didn't have like any stone structure on it in the texture. So I repainted that just as how I did with the gargoyle stuff. But I placed something else here, and that is like a little creature that we saw before. And I kind of want to make that he's talking to himself, and maybe also going to talk to you if you want to talk to him. But basically, he's just like saying like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I made a big mess, and the road is blocked." So this is basically my way. This is like my way of saying you cannot go further than this. I can do it because like I can jump and then over it, but in the final version, you're not allowed to do that. So I had to think of a good solution. I could make a door. I could make like, I don't know. But I kind of want to make it so that like, oh my gosh, like, sorry, the road is blocked. I dropped all the barrels, and my employer is not going to like this. Something like this. And he was like having like pop-up balloons if you're getting closer to him. So he's like, he's talking to himself and he's looking at the mess that he made. And if you want to talk to him, he will say like, yeah, sorry, man, or like, sorry, traveler. Yeah, you cannot go further right now. I really need to fix this and clean this up first to clear the road. And of course, it's never going to happen. But or maybe eventually, if I have more stuff, more scenes in the future. And you can also tell like there is like another claw sitting on one of the gargoyles, and he's looking at the big mess that this little creature made, this little goblin creature. So he's like looking at it sometimes like, what is this mess? And I really love this scene a lot because you can see so many things happen. You see the birds in the background, and sometimes the airship, and the floating islands, and the trees, and the mountains, and the little spiky things in the background. So there's a lot of stuff happening in this scene, and it gives you a little bit of the feeling that it's the further you look, like it looks like it actually is like an ongoing an ongoing creation, but it's not. Like, I can show you a little bit what I mean. You don't have to sculpt what you don't see. So if I hover a little bit above, you can see that I cheated a little bit. So I placed a few like greenery in the back, but this is all empty here in the middle because the player is not going to see anyway. So why would you waste your resources if the player is not going to see that particular area anyway? So I made it believe that this is a road that leading down all the way down to the mountains, all the way in the back, and so forth. So that's just enough what the player can see. So if you're like playing, this is like the height of the player. So you can just like a little use an imagination, like, okay, this pathway goes a little bit further down these between the mountains, all the way in the end. Yeah, you don't have to sculpt what you don't see. The same goes with these mountains. These mountains like are done, are finished on this side. Like I said, you don't have to place more because you don't see it. The other only thing that I still need to make is the other side still, like this whole little mountain or big mountain hill. It's more of an hill. It's going to way all the way to the back behind the bar, and it goes all all the way, and with these lovely birds, all the way in the back. And so like it's connected a little bit like in front of these mountains. So you have like a very nice contrast still between the mountains and stuff like that. I will try maybe make it a little bit lower level so I can see the water still in the background. That could be cool. But maybe I'm just like morphing it over it. I'll have to see what I'm going to do here. And then we still have to like do a path further away down the road. I'm going to block this path as well. Simply, I don't have enough graphics thermo left to go completely nuts on this creation. So I'm probably going to make a gateway or find a gateway that's closed down. And you cannot go any further. But this will basically lead to a town. To the Baldroon city. To the Baldroon city. That's where the actual town is. But you cannot see it because like it's behind this mountain. And I will put a fence a little bit further on. And that's where you cannot go any further. So it's like blocked. So it's a very small space where you can walk around in. But it still is enough to just like look around in the whole environment yourself. And just explore what you can find. Airships and like, I don't know, animals and stuff like that. Everything is like living and breathing. It's a fantasy life. Butterflies everywhere and stuff like that. So, and if you're going a little bit down the road here, I also finished this. So if you're going down here, you can see there's a tree falling on the pathway. That's also my way to say block no further. And it's a cheap way, I know, but I have to think of something. Like, yeah, normally like I don't really like invisible walls, but I have to. I really have to. I finished this, so if you look, so this is basically the further than this you cannot go. It's like it's blocking here, but you still have like a really nice view of like the floating islands and the big statues in the background. The pirate ship, it's like it's sailing on the waters, and it's like it's not moving right now. I will make it move in the next video, or probably in the next video, next content. But yeah, just like imagine that the ship is basically like moving forward and go to the ocean and back and forth. So that will be interacting as well. I still need to finish a little of this side because like the water, like as you can see, the trees are inside the water. It's really hard to see, maybe you can tell it, but I still need to fix that one and make it a little bit more of like a shoreline before the tree line, and then it's finished as well. Maybe expand a little bit of the grass line here as well. So the hill over here, I will expand it maybe a little bit further, and then I will stop it. Put some rocks randomly here and there. Not randomly, very carefully placed where I wanted them. And as you can see, the birds are still flying in the air. So there's always something happening everywhere. So everywhere you look, that's my intention. Everywhere you want to look, there is something to look at. And that's the whole purpose of this creation as well. And to give you a little bit of like a... and also... I probably need to fix a little bit of this side. So you can still... Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Oh, there's water, I believe. Oh, there's water. Oh, okay. And there's also a big hole here. But again, you cannot walk there. I will not make this a walkable path. So I'll put some fences here. Just to give the player at least like the knowledge. Okay, yeah, you cannot go there. But yeah, I spread the trees a little bit more out. So like a better performance. So we have here around 30 FPS. This is like a lot better performance that I had in like Once Upon a Time Forest, like when I was first doing Dreams. So yeah, a lot better performance to walk around in. It's a lot smoother. Well, define what you can find smooth, 30 FPS and above, at least. It might maybe dip a little bit here still, but it's still around 30 FPS. I checked that. Yeah. So there was like a big one. There's a big update, big stuff. The windows, like I said, on this building, I'm going to place a little bit more. Some are closed, some are open, so you can look inside. I have some floating stuff here with some windows. I also want to have like another building standing here. So another building with maybe a staircase up. And this building you cannot look inside, so that's why I found very good nice windows that are painted and very cheap, so it looks like it's still like someone is living inside the house, but you cannot like look actually inside. So that's basically what I have been doing. I've been trying to like go as fast as possible into the content. Yeah. Oh, and before I want to close down, I want to say that even though the Dreams is maybe not getting its love from Jim Ryan anymore, like from PlayStation anymore, but I still wanna say that Dreams is still one of my favorite tools ever made, ever created by the lovely team of Meet the Molecule. Without Meet the Molecule, we would never have been able to create something with our own imagination, and it's so wonderful. And this project is maybe one of my favorites, besides maybe the Once Upon a Time Forest, that is still one of my first creations, but it was so many like performance issues. I had no idea back then what I was doing. But yeah, this is really going to be one of my favorite creations so far that I am building. Even though it is mostly made by community assets, so that's why I am hitting the 100% graphics thermo, because like if I would create this myself, I would have downscaled a lot of assets myself and like make it as much as assets like 1% graphics thermo as possible. But yeah, since with the new limitations, even though you can delete your single assets eventually, but I'm not going to do that. So I have to sculpt inside projects right now in order to save my limitations. But yeah, this is really one of my favorite projects so far. Let me know in the comments what you like and not like about this. I still need to think of a name for this bar. I have no idea what to name this. But yeah, there's like so much thing that I want to do. And I really love these birds just like randomly sitting. It really makes the whole creation alive, basically. And yeah, that's all I wanted to show. I really hope that you enjoyed the video so far. I tried to do it in as fast as possible. It was a big one. I like there was like a lot of to be shown in here. But as you can see, that it's getting closer to the final product already. You're already seeing it shaping up, and I'm not really sure how long or how much videos will be after this. If my creation is eventually done, I will start up a new project, a new creation. I still have to think about what I want to create, but there's definitely something that I would still start doing in Dreams. It's not going anywhere for me. I love Dreams. Dreams is my baby, not my baby, because like that's me the molecules of course, but it's I don't know, I love Dreams so much. And once this project is finished, I will do something else, or maybe I'm going to expand the world with different scenes. Let me know in the comments if you want that as well, if you want to have more expanding the world and explore on your own. I made a walk feature still, and so far so good. So finger crossed if the walking feature will still be there in the final project. I think so. I don't think I would not like doing it anymore. I think it will be there. I'm not going to promise much, but but I think it will. It's not going to get away anymore. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, don't forget to dream, everybody, and see you hopefully in the next video. Bye bye.